I think first I'll just kind of tell you what we did there, and I'll tell some stories. And basically, we we flew over to Port-au-Prince, which is the capital of Haiti. It's the capital is it's pretty populated, but is still very, very poor. Like right when you step off the plane, it's just all people standing around trying to take your stuff so they can get money. All the houses are run down, and it's mostly just cement buildings, and a lot of them are broken, and a lot of people drive in motorcycles or little cars or walk. So we stayed in Port-au-Prince the first night. Then we went, and the next morning we went on a boat over to Laganav Island, which is kind of more rural, and we stayed at a place by an orphanage there, which is where we were working that week. And basically we just the guys did some fencing projects and stuff, and the girls worked with the kids, and then we had some church services there, and it was pretty cool. So I'll just share some things. So first of all, the church services, I thought that would be interesting to talk about, because the first day we got there a little late, but we kind of walked up at midnight. You could hear the church from like a mile away, and you just hear people singing and dancing, and then you go in, and it was really cool. Even though they weren't speaking our language, obviously, you could feel the presence of God there, and just how much they really cared, and they were just praising Him. And none of them were thinking about anything in their lives at the moment. It was just everything at that moment was just to praise God. And you could tell that there's a lot of people there from the village, and as we were driving up, it was about a 3-hour drive through rocky, horrible terrain, and then just little farms, all naked children and people, and coming out asking for $1. But these people, a lot of them didn't even have houses along the way. They just stayed out around the area. They just found somewhere to sleep during the night. But still, they were there at the church, and that was what they were. They didn't care about any of that when they were worshiping God, and so that was really cool to see. Another story I had was, so while we're working on the fencing project, we were walking up, and this boy started following us, and he was kind of limping along. And we're walking through the market, and I looked over. I noticed he had a long middle shank. He was kind of carrying it behind his back, and he was kind of laughing. I was a little nervous. So me and my friend were kind of just looking at each other like, all right, well, we'll just keep on walking. We'll see what happens. And he followed us for a mile. We went up to the site where we were going to be putting in fence posts. And we started working, and he just kind of sat down and watched. And he watched us for first 2 hours. He just watched us, and then eventually he started kind of picking up on what we were doing, and he would grab a shovel, hold it for us, or something like that. And as other kids came and we're kind of playing with him stuff, we realized he couldn't talk. He was pretty handicapped. He couldn't walk very well. He didn't have shoes. He only had one overalls, but they were on backwards, and basically not much left to him. He lived 3 hours away, and he just walked up there every day to the village. His family, he had a family, but he was handicapped, and most people there who are handicapped, it's just kind of you feed them, but they're just on their own other than that. And so lunchtime came, and so we were all eating, and he was just kind of watching us. He didn't ask for food or anything. He was just really happy to be there with people, and somebody gave him a granola bar or something, and he was so happy, and he was screaming and jumping, and he followed us after we finished the workday. He followed us back to the camp where we were staying, and so we had, of course, all the stuff that you guys sent, which we later on gave to people in medical clinic, but at the time we had it all at the camp. And so we found some shoes that fit him and some clothes, and we washed him up, and we gave him some stuff, and he was so happy. He was crying and laughing, and it was like the first time he had his own shoes to own. Talk about walking 3 hours every day through rough ground. So we sent him out, and he came back about 2 hours later, and someone had stolen everything right off of him. And so that was pretty tough and frustrating. It's like, what can you do? But I think that's one of the things that everybody here can do from here, is you have to just pray for them. And there's not a lot we can do, but that's why we gotta leave it up to God, and it's not really our place to. So, yeah. Thank you. So this is a well that the pastor who stays there actually made for them. It was kind of funny. This is actually, everyone kind of came there every day and congregated. Usually you see some ladies arguing over it. And we were building the fence. It was apparently going to obstruct the path to the fence. And they were all very upset about that. But the truth was, it wasn't even their land. It was land that the pastor was letting them use. In the end, we worked that out. That was another kind of thing where it was good to have prayers, and just worked out in the end. These are some of the kids from the orphanage. They really loved, I let them use the iPod. They take like 1,000 pictures, and I let them play a game on it, in the entire orphanage, basically sitting on top of each other to try to see it. This is basically what all the houses in the country and stuff looked like. Most of them weren't really that nice, even, but this was the orphanage. The sunset was really cool. This is the church. You kind of see, they didn't really have any lights. Most of the time it was just really dark in there, but it was actually pretty cool. The ocean. Little goat. There's a lot of goats. Most of them aren't very healthy, and especially the dogs. Dogs are very, it's just skin and bones. And this is what we ate every night. It was really good the first night. The UN is pretty much everywhere. In the main city. Once you get outside of there, it's pretty much, I don't know. I didn't see any police officers. I saw one, and I was riding on the roof of the car, and he got out of the car and waved at me. That's pretty much it.